Hello guys, welcome to this video. I talk about the refraction of light by prism. The first videos we saw what is refraction, basically the various terms that are involved in refraction. So today let's see the refraction of light by prism. So light rays are deviated after passing through the glass prism. The deviation is used to explain how the light rays bend after entering the face of a glass prism. Now, what is the deviation of light? Deviation of light is changing in the direction of the incident ray when it enters or hits a triangular or any shaped glass prism. So, as you can see in the diagram there, it shows how the angle of deviation can be obtained. But basically, what is deviation? As you can see that the incident ray it enters through the other side of the prism, but when it faces the prism, it deviates from its original position, from its original direction, and it refracts, and then it comes back to the other direction. Now, that amount of deviation is what we call the angle of deviation. So, the angle of deviation is the amount by which the ray bend away from its original direction. I hope it's clear. Moving on, let's see the term here minimum deviation. Minimum deviation, as the angle of incidence is increased, the angle of deviation decreases also, and it reaches a minimum value as denoted by a small d. So minimum value of deviation occurs when the angle of incidence also decreases. So if the angle of incidence is further increased, the angle of deviation is increased. So the minimum deviation is important in the calculation of refractive index of a glass prism. Let's see the dispersion of white light. Here, dispersion of white light, we mean that is the splitting up of the light beam, that is the white light, into 7 components of color by prism. So it occurs as also a diffraction. So the term spectrum is the patch or band of colors which comprise or constitute 7 components of white light. So those 7 components of color that are made by the dispersion of the white light forms the spectrum. Now, pure section, this is the term is known as a patch or band of colors in which the colors are clearly separated. So pure section means that you can clearly observe the dispersion of the white light into various colors or various those 7 components of color. So in order to produce the pure spectrum, then we must use the two converging lenses. Converging lenses, we've already seen what are converging lenses. So simply these converging lenses, they will enable the light to be converged or to be directed to the to the prism, whereby after a time the other converging lens will converge it to a plane showing those the shows clearly the disparted colors. So when colors of spectrum are combined, they form the white light. So in order to combine those colors that are formed after the dispersion, we need to use the two triangular glass prisms in the one lens, because the first one will enable the dispersing, and the second one will collect those colors and then to form a white light. So in pure spectrum, this is basically the band or the patch of colors which overlap or are not seen clearly. It can be due to the various factors. Maybe the dispersion wasn't very clear before. Let's see the rainbow. Rainbow basically is the ball-shaped spectrum of 7 colors of the white light formed when light undergoes dispersion within a raindrops, because the water is denser than air, so has a large refractive index. So basically, the white light, it is reflected to form the colors that can be seen. Now there are two main types of the rainbows. The first one is the primary rainbow, and the second is the secondary rainbow. So what is the primary rainbow? Basically, primary rainbow is formed when the light undergoes one or single total internal reflection in the water droplets. So in this type of rainbow, the violet color can be observed outside of the bowl, while the red color is on the outside. As we've seen before, that in the dispersion there are these colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and the violet. So in the primary rainbow, that the violet color that is also seen after the dispersion is in the inside of the bowl, while the red color is on the outside. I hope you can see the clear picture there. Let's see the secondary rainbow. Secondary rainbow, this one it takes place when the sun rays undergo two internal reflections in the raindrops. So there are double reflections. So basically, you can see there are two rainbows. So its intensity is fainter than the primary rainbow. So when you see there's a primary rainbow and a secondary rainbow, basically the secondary rainbow, it is fainter than the primary rainbow. So could be not could be seen like that, and it has the violet color at the top and the red color at the bottom. So you can see their difference when they are displayed. I hope it's clear. Thank you for listening.